Reports of poltergeist activity typically feature raps, bumps, thumps, knocks, footsteps, and bed shakings, all without a discernible point of origin or physical reason for occurrence. Many accounts also report objects being thrown about the room, rains of dirt or other small objects, vile smells, furniture being moved, and even people being levitated or assaulted. Historically, poltergeist activity was ascribed to devils, demons, or witches. Such activity has also been suggested to be unconscious use of psychokinetic abilities. Skeptics argue that all such phenomena can be explained through physical mechanisms or fraud, but many continue to believe in spiritual or parapsychological causes. Because the manifestations are recurrent, largely spontaneous and unpredictable, and seemingly involve paranormal interactions between psychological and physical events, some researchers use the term recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis, or RSPK, instead of the term poltergeist. The term RSPK may also be preferred for being a more neutral and descriptive label that does not imply that the phenomena are necessarily due to the activity of spirits. Significantly, many of these manifestations are common to both modern and historical poltergeist cases, suggesting that there may be a consistent pattern of phenomena involved. However, the vast majority of recorded poltergeist cases have occurred in Europe or America, and it is unclear whether a similar pattern of poltergeist activity manifests in other continents or cultures. Poltergeists are classified according to have 5 levels of activity. Level 1, called senses attack. This involves cold spots, strange noises, and a feeling that one is being watched. Pets may behave strangely, and odd smells or offensive odors may be noticed. Level 2, called communication. This is an increase in activity over level 1. Noises become more definable, turning into whispers, shrieking, moans, or giggles. Cold spots become cold rushes of air. Small objects are thrown, and small marks may appear on walls. Level 3, called electrical control. This involves the turning off and on of appliances. Disturbance happen with telephones, and windows and doors open and close and lock and unlock. Unseen hands may grab or touch people, and furniture may move. Level 4, known as the trickster stage. This is even more violent. Objects disappear or move violently, and sometimes burst into flames. Apparitions and voices appear, violently threatening people with foul language. People feel dizzy or nauseous and may be physically attacked. Level 5, known as the danger level. This is the highest energy level. Biting, scratching, punching, and even sexual assault may occur. Kitchen knives or other deadly weapons are aimed at people, and blood may appear on the walls, floors, or ceilings. Where previous activity was frightening, level 5 activity is actually life-threatening. Poltergeists are said to cycle through these levels, which may take days, months, or even years. After level 5, the poltergeist is said to go into a kind of dormancy until eventually activity begins again with level 1. Poltergeist activity is usually considered to be temporary, sometimes lasting as little as a day or two. Unlike ghosts, poltergeist activity is usually centered around an individual and not a place, and is generally more destructive. Like many paranormal phenomena, poltergeist stories date well back into history. Poltergeist activity is reported as early as 530 CE in the home of the chief physician to the Ostrogoth King Theodoric. In 858 CE, a report of supernatural stone throwing comes from the small town of Bingen on the Rhine, where Romans were fighting the Gauls. One of the most famous poltergeist cases was the Epworth poltergeist, which haunted the Wesley family in 1716 in the small town of Epworth, Lincolnshire, in England. Considered to be one of the most well-documented poltergeist cases in the history of British paranormal research, no satisfactory explanation has been put forth to explain the loud rapping and noises, as well as the running footsteps, groans, and the lifting of a door latch that the Wesley family experienced in their house over the course of several months. Well-known instances of poltergeist activity include the Bell Witch in 1817 and the activities surrounding the Fox sisters, whose experience started the spiritual movement of 1848. The 20th century saw an increase in the recording and investigation of poltergeist phenomena. With more scientific interest in parapsychology, more researchers investigated poltergeist activity from a scientific perspective. Theories of poltergeists. If trickery is ruled out, there remains 4 main theories that have been put forward in order to explain poltergeist manifestations. 1. Natural explanations. In some cases, phenomena may be explained as a misinterpretation of natural events. For example, noises in the walls or cavities of a home may be caused by birds or rodents. Noises and vibrations may also be due to wind, underground watercourses, airlocks and plumbing, or earth tremors. Puddles and flooding may be the results of leakage or condensation. Estimates suggest, however, that natural artifacts account for only a very small percentage of reported poltergeist phenomena. 2. Spiritual explanations. Traditional systems of belief usually assume that poltergeist phenomena are caused by mischievous or malevolent spirits, ghosts, or demons. In some cases, these spiritual entities are believed to possess the victim, which are also called poltergeist agents. Poltergeist outbreaks are therefore met with fear, and with attempts at magical or religious remedies involving ritual prayer or exorcism. 3. Psychokinetic explanation. Psychokinesis, or PK, refers to the apparent ability of some individuals to paranormally affect physical processes using mental powers. Because poltergeist phenomena tend to focus around the poltergeist agent, it is suggested that they are caused by spontaneous eruptions of the agent's latent psychokinetic powers, as poltergeist outbreaks are usually associated with high levels of emotional stress. It is also presumed that they may amplify the agent's psychokinetic energies until they eventually explode in the form of poltergeist activity. 4. Psychological and psychiatric explanations. Psychological or psychiatric factors may seem to play an important role in the majority of poltergeist cases, often contributing to the stress experienced by the agent. Most poltergeist agents are young children or teenagers who may be struggling to cope with the onset of puberty, with family tensions and other interpersonal difficulties, or the physical, verbal, or sexual abuse in one's house. In many cases, the poltergeist outbreak is preceded by an identifiable emotion or interpersonal crisis. By their nature, poltergeist cases are complex, troublesome, and sometimes traumatic. Investigators are typically faced with a variety of practical, interpersonal, and ethical problems, and often find that the phenomena elude their attempts at direct observation and recording. The main evidence for many cases is based on the testimony of witnesses, whose recollections may not always be trustworthy or consistent. It can therefore be difficult to form a definite opinion on whether a poltergeist case shows clear evidence of paranormal manifestations, or whether the event may be explained by trickery or other natural causes.